There is a quiet, hollow ache that can find you in the middle of the night. A feeling that arises when you look back, not at one specific memory, but at the vast, blurry landscape of entire years. A landscape you passed through, but perhaps did not truly inhabit. You might see pictures of yourself from that time, and a strange sense of disconnection washes over you. There you are, smiling, or working, or standing with family. But the person looking back from the photograph feels like a distant acquaintance. The question echoes in the stillness of your room. Where was I when all of that was happening? And what if that question is not an accusation, but a gentle invitation? An invitation to look closer, not with judgment, but with a tender curiosity. What if those years were not lost, but were instead a time of profound, unseen, and deeply necessary work happening just below the surface of your awareness? Tonight, we will not try to reclaim what feels lost. We will not attempt to fix or rewrite the past. Instead, our only purpose is to create a space together, the softest, safest space imaginable, to meet that part of your story with a new kind of understanding. A comfort that does not demand answers, but simply holds the questions with you. It is a space where you can finally, gently, offer yourself the compassion you have been waiting for. So let us begin by simply arriving here, in this moment, in this room, wherever you are in the world. Whether the night is just beginning or the first hints of dawn are hours away, notice the quality of the silence around you. The world outside has softened its edges. The demands of the day have been put to rest. This time belongs only to you. This is your time to heal. Allow your body to begin its own journey into rest. Let your attention drift to the simple, undeniable reality of your physical form, resting here. Feel the full weight of you, held completely by the surface beneath. There is nothing you need to do to earn this support. It is simply and unconditionally given. Notice all the points of contact, the places where your body meets the bed, your heels, the backs of your legs, your hips and lower back, your shoulders, the back of your head. Each point of contact is a small anchor, grounding you in this present, peaceful moment. If you can, feel the unique texture of the sheets or the fabric against your skin. Notice the gentle, reassuring pressure of the blanket resting upon you. This blanket is like a silent, gentle promise of safety, a soft boundary between you and the world outside. For tonight, nothing is required of you but to rest within this cocoon of quiet and warmth, feeling utterly secure. The air in your room holds the deep stillness of the night, a quiet energy that encourages rest and release. And now, bring your awareness to your breath. There is no need to change it, no need to control it in any way. Simply become aware of its natural, easy rhythm. The gentle rise of your chest and abdomen on the in-breath, and the soft, complete release on the out-breath. Each breath is a wave of life, flowing through you without any effort on your part. It has been with you every moment of your life, through every season, including those years that now feel so distant. It was your faithful companion then, and it is your faithful anchor now. With every inhale, imagine you are drawing in peace, softness, and a profound sense of calm. And with every exhale, imagine you are releasing the tension of the day, releasing the need to figure everything out, releasing the habit of being hard on yourself. Feel how your muscles, which have held you and carried you through the day, can finally surrender their effort completely. Let your shoulders soften and drop away from your ears. Allow your jaw to unclench, letting a little space come between your teeth. Let the tiny muscles around your eyes relax, smoothing out the forehead. This is a process of letting go, not of forcing, but of allowing. Allowing your body to do what it knows so well how to do, to rest, to repair, and to find its way back to equilibrium. Your body is an incredibly wise and resilient vessel, and it has carried you through so much. Tonight, you can trust its wisdom completely. As you continue to breathe, let's set a simple, gentle intention for this journey into sleep. The intention is not to struggle or to strive, but to meet your own story, every chapter of it, with the softest comfort imaginable. Imagine wrapping the memory of those years in the warmest, most gentle blanket of acceptance you can find within you. We are not aiming for a sudden revelation or a dramatic shift. We are simply opening a door to a kinder way of being with yourself. We are learning to hold our own history with a compassionate and understanding heart. There is no judgment here tonight. There is no criticism in this space. There is only warmth, only acceptance, only the deep desire for your own peace. As you sink deeper into this feeling of comfort, you might notice the mind beginning to quiet down. Thoughts may still arise, like clouds drifting across the night sky, and that is perfectly okay. You don't have to push them away or engage with them. Simply notice them, and then gently, lovingly, guide your attention back to the sensation of your breath, back to the feeling of the blanket, back to the solid, steady support of the bed beneath you. This is your safe harbor. This is your sanctuary. You have done enough for today. You have carried enough for long enough. That part of you that feels so heavy with regret, the part that judges the past and worries about the time that has gone by, that part of you is also welcome here. It doesn't need to be silenced or banished. We can invite it to rest, too. We can let it know that tonight, its work is done. Tonight, it can lay down its heavy burden and simply be held in a space of unconditional peace. It can trust that this process of healing does not require its constant vigilance or its harsh critique. Healing happens in softness. It happens in the quiet moments of surrender, when we finally stop fighting with ourselves and allow a deeper grace to emerge. So allow your body to grow heavier still. Allow the gentle pull of gravity to feel like a comforting embrace, drawing you down into a state of profound relaxation and deep, restorative peace. Every part of you is slowing down, letting go, and preparing for the deep nourishment that sleep provides. You are safe, you are supported, and you are right where you need to be. There is nothing else to do now but to breathe and to allow yourself to be held by the quiet stillness of the night. You are on a journey back to yourself, and it begins here, in this moment of perfect, gentle rest. As your body continues to rest here, safe and held, we can gently turn our attention inward to the very reason you are here tonight. Let us softly, and without any force, touch upon that feeling you know so well. It is the specific and profound pain of feeling absent from your own life. It is not a dramatic, cinematic absence, but a quiet, creeping one. It is the feeling of having been a passenger watching the scenery of your own years go by from a window. You might see the milestones pass: birthdays, holidays, changing seasons, new jobs. But the memories lack texture. They lack color. It's like watching a film of your life where the sound is slightly muffled and the images are just a little out of focus. You know you were there, and yet the felt sense of being present, of truly inhabiting those moments, is missing. There's a ghost-like quality to the past, a sense that the real you was somewhere else, waiting in the wings, while a stand-in went through the motions. This feeling carries a unique weight, a particular kind of sorrow. It's a grief for a life that was lived, but not fully felt. It is the quiet ache of disconnection from your own story. And as you lie here, breathing softly, just allow this truth to be acknowledged, without any need to fix it or explain it away. With this sense of absence often comes a powerful and heavy narrative. It is the story that you have wasted precious time. The mind, in its endless quest to make sense of things, can be a harsh storyteller. It might whisper that you have lost irreplaceable years, that you weren't paying attention, that you somehow failed at the simple task of living. This narrative can feel so true, so solid, so utterly convincing, especially in the quiet hours of the night. It can feel like a verdict, a final judgment on a chapter of your life. The weight of this story is immense. It is the weight of regret, the burden of should-haves and if-onlys. It can feel like you are carrying a backpack filled with stones, each one representing a moment you believe you missed, an experience you didn't fully savor, a choice you didn't consciously make. And you have carried this weight for so long, perhaps without even realizing how heavy it has become. Tonight, right here, in the safety and comfort of your bed, we are going to do something radical. We are not going to fight this feeling. We are not going to argue with this story. We will not try to banish the regret or wrestle the sadness into submission. Instead, we are simply going to witness it. We are going to let it be seen and heard, perhaps for the very first time, without judgment. Imagine you are creating a vast, gentle space within you, a space as wide and as accepting as the night sky. And into this space, you can allow this feeling of loss, this story of wasted time, to simply arise. You don't have to become the feeling. You don't have to believe the story completely. You are the sky, not the clouds that pass through it. Just for now, can you observe it with a gentle, detached curiosity? Notice where you feel this weight in your body. Is it a tightness in your chest? A hollowness in your stomach? A tension in your shoulders? Wherever it is, just let your awareness rest there, softly. Breathe into that space. You are not trying to breathe the feeling away. You are breathing with it, offering it the gift of your calm, steady presence. You are signaling to your entire system that even this difficult, painful feeling is allowed to be here. It is safe to feel this now. By allowing it to be here, without resistance, something remarkable begins to happen. The feeling, which has been fighting so hard to be acknowledged, can finally begin to soften. It's like a small child who has been screaming for attention. Once you turn towards them with a kind and listening ear, the screaming subsides, replaced by a quieter, more vulnerable expression of need. This feeling of regret is a part of you that is in pain. It is a part of you that is grieving. It does not need your judgment. It needs your compassion. It needs to know that it is seen, that its pain is valid, and that it is a part of the whole intricate story of you. Keep your attention on the simple, physical anchor of your breath. Feel the air moving in and the air moving out. This is the rhythm of the present moment. This is your anchor to the here and now. The memories and feelings of the past can be powerful, but they are not happening now. Right now, you are safe. You are breathing. You are resting in a quiet room. You are holding a space for your own healing. This is an act of profound self-kindness. You are gently separating yourself from the intensity of the story, creating just enough space to breathe around it. You are not denying the pain. You are honoring it. You are acknowledging the deep human longing to live a full and present life. That longing is beautiful and pure. The pain arises from the perceived gap between that longing and your past experience. But tonight, we are not focusing on the gap. We are focusing on the holding, the gentle, compassionate holding of the pain itself. Think of it as holding a fragile bird in your hands. You would not crush it with judgment or analysis. You would simply hold it, providing warmth and safety until it felt strong enough to fly again. Treat this part of your own heart with that same exquisite tenderness. As you continue to lie here, sinking deeper into relaxation, let this be enough for now. The simple, quiet act of witnessing. You have looked directly at the weight you have been carrying. You have named the pain of feeling absent. You have allowed the story of regret to be told without letting it consume you. This is a monumental first step. Here, in the stillness of the night, this feeling is finally allowed to be heard. It is seen. It is held. And in being truly heard, without judgment, something deep within you already begins to soften, to release, and to trust that a new way of relating to your own past is possible. Just rest in that knowing for a little while. Let's gently drift a little deeper now, exploring the actual experience of living on autopilot. What did it feel like? What was the sensory reality of that time? Allow your memory to soften its focus, not searching for specific events, but rather for the general atmosphere of those years. For many, it's a feeling of being enveloped in a quiet, persistent fog. This fog wasn't necessarily dark or menacing. Often, it was just gray, neutral. It muted the colors of life. The vibrant reds of joy and the deep blues of sorrow were both toned down, replaced by a monotonous, manageable shade in between. Days would blend into one another, creating a seamless blur of time. Monday felt like Wednesday. March felt like May. You would look up and realize a whole season had passed, and you could hardly recall its arrival or departure. The passage of time felt both incredibly fast and excruciatingly slow. The weeks would fly by in a featureless rush, yet each individual day could feel like an endless stretch to be endured. Do you remember that feeling? The paradox of time slipping through your fingers while you were simultaneously just trying to get through the next hour. There's a distinct lack of vivid memories from this time. It's not that nothing happened. Life was certainly happening. But the events lack sharp edges. They lack the sensory details, the smells, the sounds, the specific quality of light that anchor a memory in the body and make it feel real. It's like trying to remember a dream, moments after waking. You have the plot points, but the feeling, the immersive reality of it, has already evaporated. This wasn't laziness. This wasn't a choice to be disengaged. This was the texture of survival. This was the feeling of just getting through. Your energy was not being invested in creating rich, detailed memories of the present moment. It was being meticulously conserved for the absolute essentials. Getting out of bed, going to work, paying the bills, caring for others, holding it all together. Every ounce of your available life force was being funneled into the monumental task of functioning. The focus was entirely on the next necessary action. What needs to be done right now? And then, what needs to be done after that? Life became a checklist of tasks, a series of obligations to be met. And in this mode of operation, there is simply no surplus energy available for wonder, for spontaneity, for deep presence, or for the vibrant emotional experiences that create lasting memories. It is a state of profound and deep exhaustion, a quiet depletion that runs bone deep. Think for a moment about how utterly tiring it is to live that way. The constant low-grade effort of pushing through the fog day after day. The invisible work of maintaining a functional exterior while feeling hollowed out or numb on the inside. It's like driving a car with the emergency brake partially engaged. You can still move forward. You can still get where you need to go, but it requires so much more fuel, so much more effort, and it creates a constant, underlying strain on the entire system. Living on autopilot is not a state of rest. It is a state of chronic, sustained effort. It is the very definition of burnout. And perhaps you've been blaming yourself for feeling tired, for being disengaged, when in reality, you were engaged in one of the most exhausting tasks imaginable. Navigating life while your own internal battery was critically low. You were running on fumes, and just keeping the engine running at all was a testament to your incredible strength and endurance. Let's take a moment to normalize this experience. What you went through is a deeply, profoundly human response to overwhelming circumstances. It is not a character flaw. It is not a personal failure. It is a biological and psychological strategy. When a human system, your mind, your body, your nervous system, is faced with more stress than it can effectively process, it does something incredibly intelligent. It begins to shut down non-essential functions to conserve energy for survival. Just like a city in a blackout cuts power to residential areas to keep the hospitals running, your system began to downshift. The capacity for vibrant emotion, for deep connection, for creative expression, for feeling fully alive, these are the psychological equivalents of the city's parks and libraries. They are wonderful, life-enriching, and essential for a thriving community. But in a crisis, they are the first things to go offline. Your system, in its infinite wisdom, prioritized keeping the hospitals running. It's prioritized the core functions needed to keep you safe and moving forward. The fog you experienced was not a mistake. It was a protective shield. It was a form of self-preservation. It muted the pain, the overwhelm, the anxiety, the grief that might have been too much to bear if you had to feel it all at full volume, all at once. The numbness was a mercy. The disconnection was a form of insulation. The autopilot mode was your nervous system's sophisticated way of getting you through an impossibly difficult stretch of road. As you lie here, feeling the gentle rhythm of your breath, can you allow this perspective to settle into your bones? Can you begin to see that period of your life not as a failure to be present, but as a success in endurance? You survived. That version of you, the one who operated in the quiet fog, successfully navigated a storm. They may not have done it with grace or with vibrant joy, but they did the single most important thing. They kept going. They got you here, to this moment, to this bed, where you are now safe enough to begin to feel again, safe enough to look back and begin to heal. The fog is a sign that you were overwhelmed, not that you were inadequate. The blur is a sign that you were conserving energy, not that you were careless with your life. This is a fundamental shift in understanding, moving from self-blame to a deep, respectful acknowledgement of your own resilience. There is no need to force this understanding. Just let it be a possibility. A seed of a new story you can begin to tell yourself about that time. A story not of absence, but of protection. Not of failure, but of profound, quiet strength. For now, simply rest with this idea. Rest with the quiet validation that your experience was real. It was exhausting, and it was a deeply intelligent response to the demands of your life at that time. You did what you had to do to get through. And that is more than enough. It is, in fact, everything. Just allow your body to absorb this truth as you drift even closer towards peaceful, healing sleep. The story is already beginning to change. Let's stay with this gentle, compassionate line of inquiry for a little longer. Let's explore more deeply why your system took over, why it shifted into this protective autopilot mode. Because understanding the mechanics of this process can be one of the most powerful ways to dissolve self-blame and replace it with a sense of awe for your own inner wisdom. Imagine your brain and your nervous system as a highly sophisticated command center with one primary, overarching directive: to keep you safe and to ensure your survival. This is its most ancient and fundamental job, hardwired over millions of years of evolution. Everything else, happiness, creativity, connection, personal growth, is secondary to this prime directive. When your command center detects a threat, it initiates a series of automatic, lightning-fast responses. We often think of this as the fight-or-flight response, designed for acute, short-term dangers. But what happens when the threat isn't a tiger in the jungle? What happens when the threat is chronic, long-term, and inescapable? What happens when the danger is a stressful job, a difficult relationship, financial instability, unresolved grief, or a persistent feeling of not being safe in the world? Your system can't run from these things, and it can't fight them in the traditional sense. So, it adapts. It shifts into a different kind of survival mode, one designed for a marathon, not a sprint. This is the state we call survival mode, burnout, or chronic stress. And it's here that the autopilot function becomes not just useful, but essential. In this state, your brain literally starts to reallocate its resources. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for conscious decision-making, long-term planning, emotional regulation, and self-awareness, the very seat of your present self, is incredibly energy-intensive. It consumes a huge amount of your body's glucose and oxygen. When your system perceives that you are in a long-term state of threat or depletion, it starts to divert energy away from this expensive part of the brain. It's a biological strategy of energy conservation. Power is redirected to the more primitive, automatic parts of the brain, the amygdala, which is on constant high alert for danger, and the basal ganglia, which governs habits and repetitive behaviors. In essence, your brain decides, we don't have the luxury for conscious, thoughtful, present-moment awareness right now. It's too costly. We need to switch to a low-power, habit-driven mode to get through this. And just like that, autopilot is engaged. This is not a personal failure. It is a biological strategy. Let that sink in. It is a testament to the incredible adaptability of your organism. Your system didn't abandon you. It enacted a brilliant, energy-saving plan to endure a period of prolonged difficulty. The numbness you felt was your nervous system dampening the emotional signals that were too overwhelming and costly to process. The lack of motivation was your body conserving physical energy. The repetitive, day in, day out routine was your brain relying on established neural pathways, habits, because creating new ones requires far too much energy. The feeling of being a passenger was the literal physiological result of the conscious driver part of your brain being partially taken offline to save fuel. You weren't weak or lazy or undisciplined. You were in a state of profound energy conservation. Your entire being was organized around a single goal: endurance. So let's reframe this entire experience. The autopilot you resent was not your enemy. It was your guardian. It was the biological equivalent of a ship's captain ordering the crew to batten down the hatches, reef the sails, and steer a steady, simple course to get through a hurricane. It wasn't a time for sightseeing. It wasn't a time for elaborate navigation. It was a time to hold the tiller steady and ride out the storm. That steady, seemingly monotonous course was what kept the ship from capsizing. It was what brought you safely to the calmer waters you find yourself in now, where you have the safety and the resources to look back and assess the journey. There's a deep affirmation that arises from this understanding, a truth that you can let wash over you like a warm, healing wave. Your body knew what it needed to do to protect you, even when your conscious mind couldn't. Let's feel the truth of that statement. While your mind may have been filled with thoughts of, I should be doing more, I should be feeling more, I'm not doing this right, your body was quietly and competently executing a survival strategy that was perfect for the circumstances. It was responding with an ancient wisdom that lies deeper than thought, deeper than self-criticism. It was honoring its most sacred duty to keep you alive and to carry you forward. We often live so much in our heads, identifying with our thoughts, our ambitions, our narratives about who we are. We can come to believe that the conscious thinking mind is the only intelligent part of us. But this experience reveals a different truth. It reveals that there is a profound intelligence in the body, in the nervous system, in the very cells of your being. This intelligence is not verbal. It does not explain itself. It simply acts, always in your best interest, always on the side of life. Those years on autopilot were a demonstration of this deep, embodied wisdom. You are being cared for from the inside out in the most fundamental way. Can you feel the shift that happens when you see it this way? The hardness of self-blame begins to soften into a gentle gratitude. The frustration with your past self can begin to transform into a quiet respect for their and your incredible resilience. You are not broken. You did not fail. Your system operated exactly as it was designed to. It encountered an overwhelming load, and it adapted beautifully to carry that load until it was safe to set it down. What you perceived as a flaw was in fact your strength. What felt like absence was a profound act of self-preservation. As you rest here tonight, allow this new story to take root. Allow the truth of your own biological wisdom to comfort you. You have always been guided by a force within you that is committed to your survival and well-being. And that force is still with you now, gently guiding you toward rest, toward healing, and toward the deep, restorative sleep that your resilient body so deeply deserves. There is nothing to forgive, only to understand. And in that understanding, peace can finally begin to dawn. Now that we have built this foundation of understanding and self-compassion, we can create a space that is safe enough to feel, safe enough to gently touch the sadness that may still be lingering beneath the surface. For so long, you may have told yourself that you don't have the right to be sad about this. Perhaps a voice inside said, "Nothing terrible happened," or "Other people have it worse," or "You should just be grateful you got through it." These voices, while often well-intentioned, can prevent us from doing the necessary and healing work of grief. Because there is a grief here. It is the grief for the experiences you feel you missed, the grief for the laughter that didn't feel as full, the sunsets that weren't truly seen, the connections that didn't feel as deep. It is the grief for the felt sense of aliveness that you longed for but couldn't access. Tonight, we are going to create a safe and sacred container for that grief. Imagine, right here in the quiet of your room, that you are creating a space of absolute permission. Within this space, all feelings are welcome. There are no good or bad emotions. There is no timeline for how long you should feel something. There is no judgment at all. It is a space held with the utmost tenderness, where the most vulnerable parts of you can finally come out of hiding. You are in control. You can open the door to these feelings just a crack, or you can swing it wide open. Whatever feels right for you is the perfect thing to do. You are simply making the space available. So, as you lie here, breathing gently, give yourself full and complete permission to feel. To feel the sadness for the time that feels lost. You don't need a reason. You don't need to justify it. The feeling itself is the only justification needed. If tears come, let them flow without apology. Tears are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign of release. They are the body's way of letting go of stored pain and tension. They are a liquid prayer for healing. If you feel a wave of frustration or even anger rising, let that be okay too. Anger can be a powerful and valid response to feeling like your life was constrained, that your vitality was robbed by circumstances. It can be a sign that a part of you is fiercely protective of your right to a full and vibrant life. It is a sign of your life force roaring back. Or perhaps what you feel is a profound emptiness, a hollow ache. That is also welcome here. Emptiness is not nothing. It is the space where something was once longed for. It is the echo of a deep desire. Whatever feeling arises, your only task is to meet it without needing to fix it, change it, or make it go away. This is crucial. We are not feeling these things in order to get rid of them. We are feeling them in order to integrate them, to honor their message, to allow their energy to finally move through us and complete its journey. For years, these feelings may have been suppressed, pushed down, because it wasn't safe to feel them. Your system was in survival mode, and it couldn't handle the extra energetic load of these powerful emotions. But now, here in this quiet bed, in this moment of safety, you can finally allow them a little room to breathe. Let's use an analogy to help with this. Imagine your awareness is a vast open sky. The feelings that arise, the sadness, the anger, the emptiness, are like weather patterns moving through that sky. They are clouds, rain, wind, storms. They are not the sky itself. You are the sky. You are the vast, unchanging awareness that can hold all of this weather without being damaged by it. A storm can be intense. It can be loud and dramatic. but it doesn't break the sky. The sky simply allows the storm to happen, to release its energy, and to pass through in its own time. And after the storm, the sky is still there, often clearer and brighter than before. Can you adopt this attitude toward your own inner weather tonight? Can you simply be the loving, spacious sky for whatever feelings are present? Notice the tendency of the mind to want to jump in and create a story around the feeling. The mind might say, "I'm sad, and this means I'll be sad forever." Or, "I'm angry, and that makes me a bad person." This is the mind's habit of trying to turn a passing weather pattern into a permanent climate. Your work is to gently unhook from these stories. When you feel the sadness, just feel the raw sensation of sadness in your body. Where is it? What does it feel like? Is it heavy? Is it cold? Is it a lump in your throat? Just stay with the physical sensation without the story. Breathe with it. Be its compassionate companion. You are not the sadness. You are the one who is aware of the sadness. This small shift in perspective creates all the space you need. It brings you back to your true nature as the vast, open sky of awareness. This is a practice of profound tenderness and courage. It is the work of coming home to yourself, all of yourself, not just the parts that are easy or pleasant. By allowing these stored emotions to be felt and to move, you are liberating an enormous amount of energy that has been used to keep them suppressed. This is energy that will become available to you for living your life more fully, for being more present, for creating and connecting in the here and now. You are not digging up the past for the sake of it. You are reclaiming the frozen assets of your own life force. You are allowing the rivers that have been dammed up inside you to flow again. So just for the next few moments, as you continue to drift towards sleep, hold this space of permission. Let your body soften. Let your heart open just as much as it feels safe to. And just listen. Listen to the quiet whispers of your own stored emotions. They have been waiting for a long, long time to be heard. And tonight, you are offering them the priceless gift of your kind, non-judgmental attention. This is a crucial part of the healing. This is how we begin to weave all the parts of our story back together into a whole and beautiful tapestry. Just allow. Just be. Just feel. As you continue to rest in this safe container we have created, feeling the weather of your emotions move through the vast sky of your awareness, we can now turn to one of the heaviest burdens of all. This is the burden of blame. The heavy judgment you have carried against yourself for so long. It often takes the form of a relentless inner critic, a voice that whispers or shouts that you should have done better. You should have been stronger, wiser, more present. You should have known. This voice can feel like an internal prosecutor, constantly building a case against you, pointing out all the ways you failed to live up to some imagined ideal. This self-blame is a crushing weight. It drains your energy, erodes your self-worth, and keeps you tethered to a past that cannot be changed. It is a form of self-punishment for simply being human, for simply having a nervous system that responded exactly as it was designed to in the face of overwhelm. Tonight, we are going to begin the gentle process of setting that burden down. This is not about condoning past actions or denying reality. It is about releasing the toxic, unnecessary layer of self-judgment that has been preventing you from truly healing and moving forward. It is an act of profound liberation. Let's begin with the breath. Your breath is a powerful tool for release. It is a constant physical rhythm of taking in and letting go. As you breathe in, imagine you are gathering up all the kindness and compassion that exists in the universe. Breathe in the understanding that you did the best you could with the resources you had at the time. Breathe in the truth that your autopilot mode was a protective strategy, not a personal failing. And as you breathe out, imagine you are releasing the heavy energy of blame. Let each exhale be a soft, gentle sigh of surrender. You don't have to force it or push it away. Just let it go. Let it dissolve from your body and your mind with the out-breath. Now let's make this more specific. I invite you to bring to mind the specific words that your inner critic uses. Perhaps it's the simple, painful phrase, "I should have done better." Or maybe it's, "I wasted so much time." Or, "What's wrong with me?" Whatever your particular phrase of self-blame is, just allow it to gently float into your awareness. Don't fight it. Just see the words as if they were written on a cloud in your mind. Acknowledge them. See how familiar they are, how heavy they feel. And now, as you take your next long, slow exhale, I want you to visualize those words, that very cloud, dissolving completely. Imagine the letters turning to mist and fading into the vast emptiness of the sky. With your very next breath, do it again. Inhale peace and self-acceptance. Exhale and watch the phrase, "I should have done better," simply disappear. Let's continue this for a few more breaths. Each exhale is an opportunity to release this old, painful story. See the words losing their power, their solidity. They are just thoughts. They are not the ultimate truth of who you are. They are old habits of mind, neural pathways that have been fired so many times they feel real. But they are not you. You are the one who is aware of these thoughts. You are the vast, silent space in which they arise and pass away. With each out-breath, you are weakening that old pathway. You are choosing not to energize it anymore. You are letting it go. Feel the sense of lightness that can begin to emerge as you do this. Feel the space that is created when that heavy judgment is no longer taking up so much room in your mind. It might be a subtle shift at first, but it is real. A little more room to breathe. A little more peace in your own heart. At the root of this self-blame is a profound need to punish yourself. It's a strange but common human pattern. A part of us believes that if we just punish ourselves enough for our perceived failings, we can somehow atone for the past, or ensure that we never make the same mistake again. But this strategy doesn't work. Punishment doesn't lead to growth. It leads to shame. And shame is a paralyzing emotion. It keeps us small and stuck. True change, true healing, comes from the opposite place. It comes from compassion, understanding, and radical self-acceptance. It comes from realizing that you don't need to be punished for simply surviving. You don't need to earn your own forgiveness. You only need to accept that you are, and always have been, worthy of love and kindness, especially from yourself. The version of you who lived through those years on autopilot does not need your punishment. They have been through enough. They endured the storm. What they need now is your understanding, your gentleness, your acknowledgement of the incredible burden they carried. Punishing that past self is like yelling at a refugee for not enjoying the journey on the lifeboat. It makes no sense. The point was not to enjoy the journey. The point was to survive it. And you did. So tonight, can you make a conscious decision to lay down the whip of self-criticism? Can you release the need to make yourself pay for the past? Imagine yourself standing at the bank of a gently flowing river. In your hands, you are holding a heavy stone. This stone represents all the self-blame, all the judgment, all the should-haves you have been carrying. Feel its weight. Acknowledge how tired your arms are from holding it for so long. And now, with a deep, cleansing exhale, simply open your hands and let the stone drop into the river. Watch it sink beneath the surface. The river, which represents the endless flow of time and life, effortlessly accepts the stone and carries its energy away. It does not judge the stone. It simply absorbs it and continues on its way. You are free of its weight. Feel the immediate relief in your arms, your shoulders, your entire body. You are lighter. You are freer. The river of life continues to flow, and you can now continue your journey without that unnecessary burden. This is not a one-time event. Releasing self-blame is a practice, a gentle and continuous returning to compassion. The old thoughts may arise again out of habit, but now you have a new choice. You can see them, acknowledge them without belief, and with your very next exhale, you can let them dissolve again. You can return to the riverbank and release the stone as many times as you need to. You are retraining your mind. You are creating a new habit of self-kindness. And as you drift deeper into sleep tonight, let this be your final conscious act of the day. The gentle, loving release of the need to blame yourself for simply being human, for simply surviving. You deserve this peace. You deserve this freedom. Allow yourself to rest in it now. Having gently released the heavy burden of blame, a new space opens up within you, a space of quiet clarity. Into this space, we can now invite a new perspective, a gentle but revolutionary reframing of that entire chapter of your life. For so long, you have seen that autopilot version of you as absent, as a ghost, as a failure. You have seen those years as a time when you were not truly there. But what if we were to look at it from a completely different angle? What if that version of you was not absent at all? What if, in fact, they were more present than you could possibly imagine, but in a way you haven't yet learned to recognize? What if that part of you was a guardian? Consider this. When a country is at war, the artists, the philosophers, and the poets often fall silent. The culture's energy is not focused on creating beautiful, nuanced works of art. All resources are diverted to the soldiers, the medics, the engineers, the ones on the front lines whose sole job is to protect and defend. It's not that the artist has vanished. Their creative energy is simply dormant, protected, held in reserve until it is safe to emerge again. That autopilot version of you was the soldier. They were the frontline medic. They were the stoic guardian standing watch on the castle walls through a long and brutal siege. Their job was not to paint masterpieces or write poetry. Their job was to endure. Their job was to protect the kingdom of you, with all your sensitivity, your creativity, your capacity for joy and deep feeling, until the siege was over. Let's reframe those years not as a chapter where you were missing, but as a chapter where a deeply resilient and powerful part of you took the helm to navigate a storm. Imagine your life as a great ship sailing across the ocean. You, the conscious, present self, are the captain who loves to be on the open deck, feeling the sun and the spray, charting the course by the stars, enjoying the journey. But when a hurricane of immense force appears on the horizon, the hurricane of burnout, grief, trauma, or chronic stress, it is no longer safe for the captain to be on the open deck. It would be reckless. So, a different part of the crew takes over. This is the part that resides deep in the engine room. This part is not concerned with the beauty of the stars. It is concerned with pressure gauges, fuel levels, and the integrity of the hull. It is pragmatic, tireless, and focused on one thing only: getting the ship through the storm in one piece. That was the you of those years, the engineer in the belly of the ship. That part of you wasn't absent. It was profoundly present to the task at hand. It was focused with laser-like intensity on the mechanics of survival. It managed the fuel reserves of your energy. It kept the engine of your daily functioning running, even when it was sputtering. It navigated the treacherous waves of overwhelm, one moment at a time. It sacrificed the view from the deck in order to save the entire ship. And because of its tireless, unglamorous work, the ship, your life, made it through. The captain, your conscious, vibrant self, was kept safe below decks and can now emerge again into the sunlight on calmer seas. Can you see the profound act of love in this? The autopilot self was not neglecting you. It was protecting the most vulnerable and precious parts of you from a storm that might have destroyed them. From this new perspective, a powerful affirmation begins to resonate with a deep, unshakable truth. The part of you that kept going deserves your compassion, not your contempt. Let that statement settle into every cell of your body. The part of you that got out of bed when it felt impossible, that went to work when you were bone-tired, that managed to smile when you were numb inside. That part is not a source of shame. It is a source of profound strength. It is a hero in your own story, a quiet, unsung hero who asked for no recognition and received no praise, but whose actions were absolutely essential. For years, you may have looked back at that version of yourself with disdain, with frustration, with judgment. You have been treating your most steadfast guardian as if they were your greatest failure. Tonight, a shift is possible. A great reconciliation can begin. Instead of looking back with criticism, you can begin to look back with a sense of awe and respect. Awe at the sheer endurance. Respect for the quiet, dogged determination. You can begin to see that this guardian self possessed a kind of wisdom that your conscious mind may not have understood at the time. It was the wisdom of the body, the wisdom of the nervous system, the wisdom that knows when to conserve, when to retreat, when to just hold on. This wisdom is not flashy. It doesn't write books or give speeches. It just quietly, competently does what needs to be done to ensure that life continues. And it did its job perfectly. The proof is that you are here now, listening to these words, safe in your bed, with the capacity to heal and reflect. You are the living legacy of that guardian's success. As you continue to breathe softly, let this new image of a guardian settle into your heart. Let it replace the old image of an absent, disconnected ghost. See that past self not as a hollow shell, but as a warrior clad in the simple, sturdy armor of routine and habit. See their numbness not as a lack of feeling, but as a shield. See their exhaustion not as weakness, but as the honorable fatigue of a soldier who has been on watch for a very, very long time. This is more than just a positive thinking exercise. This is about aligning with a deeper truth. It's about recognizing the incredible, adaptive intelligence that has always been operating within you, for you. When you begin to see your own past through this lens of compassion and respect, the grip of regret begins to loosen. The story of wasted years transforms into a story of incredible resilience. The shame dissolves, and in its place, a quiet, humble gratitude can begin to grow. So rest now, with this new companion in your heart, the image of your own guardian self, the one who carried you, the one who protected you, the one who brought you safely to this shore. There is no separation between that self and the self you are now. It is all you. You are both the captain and the engineer. You are both the artist and the soldier. And by honoring the soldier, you create the safety for the artist to finally emerge and paint with all the vibrant colors of a life fully lived. Allow this healing truth to be the last thought you hold as you drift into a deep and peaceful sleep. You have always been cared for. You have always been whole. With this image of the guardian, the steadfast engineer in the belly of the ship, held gently in our awareness, let us now take the next step. Let us move from understanding to connection, from reframing to relationship. It is one thing to appreciate this part of you from a distance. It is another, far more healing thing to turn towards it with kindness and to open a dialogue of the heart. So, as you continue to relax, sinking deeper into the soft comfort of your bed, I invite you on a gentle journey of the imagination. There is nothing you need to force here. Just allow whatever images or feelings arise to be perfect just as they are. Imagine yourself in a quiet, peaceful place. It could be a serene forest clearing, a tranquil beach at dusk, or even a simple, cozy room with a warm fireplace. This is your inner sanctuary, a place where you are completely safe and at ease. The air is calm, the light is soft, and there is a profound sense of peace here. Take a moment to settle into this space, feeling its gentle, holding energy all around you. And now, into this safe space, I want you to invite that other version of you to appear, the guardian self, the one who carried you through those difficult years. They might appear at the edge of the clearing, or be sitting in a chair across from you. They may look exactly as you did in photographs from that time, or they may appear as a more symbolic figure, a tired soldier, a weary traveler, a cloaked and hooded form. However they appear is perfect. Trust the wisdom of your own imagination. Just for a moment, simply look at them. Look with curiosity, not with judgment. Look with the eyes of compassion you have been cultivating tonight. See the exhaustion in their posture. Notice the weariness in their expression. See the immense, invisible weight they have been carrying on their shoulders. This is the part of you that stood watch for so long, that navigated the storm while the rest of you was kept safe. For the first time, you are not looking at them through the lens of criticism, demanding to know why they weren't more vibrant or joyful. You are simply seeing them, truly seeing them, in their entirety. You are acknowledging their reality and their service. Now, if it feels right, if it feels safe and genuine, I invite you to offer a simple, silent, or softly spoken thank you. Let these two words arise from the deepest, most sincere place in your heart. This is not a casual thank you. This is a thank you of profound depth and meaning. Thank you for getting me through. Thank you for your endurance. Thank you for never giving up, even when it felt impossible. Thank you for carrying the weight so that I didn't have to. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you for your quiet, unrecognized strength. Thank you for bringing me here to this moment of healing. As you offer this gratitude, simply notice what happens. You might feel a shift, however subtle. Perhaps the image of this past self softens a little. Perhaps their posture straightens just a fraction. Perhaps you feel a wave of emotion in your own body. Sadness, relief, a warmth spreading through your chest. Whatever you feel is the right thing. There is no expected outcome here. This is simply about the offering itself. It is about closing a circle of judgment and opening a new one of compassion. You are ending the internal war. You are signing a peace treaty with your own past. You are coming home to yourself. The part of you that has felt so alienated, so judged, is finally being seen and acknowledged for its true role. It is being welcomed back into the family of your whole being. Feel the profound shift that this one simple act creates. The energy that was once locked in self-criticism is now transformed into the healing balm of gratitude. The hardness in your heart towards your past begins to melt. You are no longer divided against yourself. You are moving towards wholeness, towards integration. This is the alchemy of self-compassion. It takes the lead of shame and regret and transforms it into the gold of wisdom and peace. The past itself does not change, but your relationship to it is forever altered. The painful memories are not erased, but they are now held in a vast, warm embrace of understanding. The story no longer ends with "I failed." It now continues with, "And then I understood. And then I was grateful." This is a powerful healing medicine that you, and only you, can give to yourself. It is more potent than any reassurance from the outside world. It is the direct experience of your own innate capacity for healing. You are becoming your own compassionate witness, your own loving parent, your own best friend. You are learning to offer yourself the very things you may have been searching for from others: acceptance, validation, and unconditional love. And it all begins with this simple, heartfelt thank you. You can stay in this quiet meeting for as long as you like. There is no rush. Perhaps there is more you wish to say to this guardian self. Perhaps you want to apologize for having judged them so harshly for so long. Perhaps you want to offer them a place to rest now, letting them know that their watch is finally over. You can tell them, "You can rest now. I am safe. We are safe. Your work is done. Thank you." Feel the profound relief in that statement, both for them and for you. The soldier can finally lay down their arms. The engineer can finally leave the noisy engine room and come up on deck to feel the sun. The guardian can finally rest, knowing the kingdom is secure. As you prepare to drift into sleep, let this feeling of gentle, healing self-compassion be the atmosphere that surrounds you. Let the warmth of this inner reconciliation soothe your nervous system and guide you into the deepest peace. The division is over. The healing has begun. You are no longer at war with your own story. You are learning to love it all, to honor it all, as the sacred journey that has brought you to this very moment. Rest in this newfound peace. Rest in this wholeness. You have earned it. As you continue to hold this compassionate space for your past self, this guardian who carried you, let's turn our gaze even more closely to what they actually managed to do. Let's look beyond the surface of what was missing, the vibrant memories, the conscious presence, and begin to acknowledge the immense, unseen burdens that this part of you carried every single day, without fail. We tend to celebrate the visible achievements, the grand gestures, the moments of peak performance. But there is a different kind of strength, a quieter and perhaps even more profound strength that deserves our deepest reverence. This is the strength of endurance, the strength of simply continuing. Think about the sheer, quiet, uncelebrated effort it took just to get out of bed on some of those mornings. When your inner world was a gray fog of numbness or a heavy sea of sorrow, the simple act of swinging your legs over the side of the bed and placing your feet on the floor was a monumental victory. There was no audience for this victory. No one gave you a medal. No one probably even noticed. But that version of you did it, day after day. They chose to engage with life, even when engagement felt hollow and pointless. That was not weakness. That was the raw, unadorned courage of a soul committed to living. Acknowledge that for a moment. Feel the truth of the strength in that simple, repetitive act. Consider the energy it took to function in the world, to shower, to get dressed, to make coffee, to commute to work and interact with colleagues, feigning a level of engagement you simply did not feel, to sit in meetings, to answer emails, to meet deadlines, all while a significant portion of your inner resources was offline. This is like asking a marathon runner to complete the race with a high fever and a sprained ankle. They might not set a personal best time. They might stumble. They might have to walk long stretches. But the fact that they finish at all is a miracle of willpower and resilience. That was you. You were running a marathon under the most difficult of conditions, and you finished the race each and every day. You held it all together. You fulfilled your responsibilities. You kept the machinery of your life turning over, even when the pilot light of your spirit was barely flickering. And what about the emotional burdens? The invisible weight of unspoken grief, of simmering anxiety, of deep-seated loneliness or confusion. Your guardian self carried all of this silently. They contained it. They managed it so that you could continue to function in a world that often has little patience for such things. They created a functional exterior so that the fragile, wounded parts of you could be protected on the inside. This act of containment is exhausting. It is a constant, low-level vigilance, a never-ending task of emotional regulation that drains the life force. And yet, that part of you did it. They held the line. They absorbed the shocks. They were the silent keeper of sorrows, the quiet manager of internal chaos. This was not a small thing. This was a feat of incredible psychological strength. There's a powerful affirmation that rises from this recognition, a truth that can settle deep into your bones and rewrite the old story of failure. You survived seasons you thought would break you. Let that land. Don't just hear it as a nice phrase. Feel the reality of it. There were likely moments, days, or even months during that time when you felt you were at your absolute limit. When the fog was so thick you couldn't see the path ahead. When the exhaustion was so profound you thought you couldn't take another step. But you did. You found something within you, a reserve of strength, a flicker of hope, a stubborn refusal to give up, and you took that next step, and then the next. That is the essence of resilience. It's not about being untouched by difficulty. It's about being changed by it, perhaps even wounded by it, and yet continuing. You are a testament to that continuation. The very fact that you are here, breathing, resting, healing, is the undeniable proof that you did not break. Let's release the cultural narrative that strength always looks like climbing a mountain or winning a battle. Sometimes, strength looks like staying in bed all day, because that is the most compassionate and necessary thing you can do for your system. Sometimes, strength looks like saying no. Sometimes, It looks like eating a simple meal, drinking a glass of water, or just breathing. Your guardian self was an expert in this quiet, sustainable kind of strength. The strength of the small, essential act. The strength of choosing life, one breath at a time, even when the joy of life felt a million miles away. This is a wisdom that deserves to be honored. It is the wisdom of the tortoise, not the hare. It is the wisdom of the deep, slow-moving river, not the flashy, crashing waterfall. It is the steady, reliable, and ultimately unstoppable power of life itself, moving through you. As you lie here, on the cusp of sleep, allow a sense of profound respect to wash over you. Respect for the person who navigated those years. Respect for their quiet tenacity. Respect for the burdens they carried that no one else could see. You can let go of the need to have been different, to have been better. You were exactly what you needed to be to survive that season. You were a master of endurance. You were a practitioner of the subtle art of just keeping going. And in that, there is no failure. There is only a deep and abiding strength that has carried you all this way and will continue to carry you into whatever comes next. Let this feeling of respect be a gentle lullaby, soothing the parts of you that have felt unseen and unappreciated for so long. Let it be a warm blanket of acknowledgement, covering you as you prepare for sleep. The story is changing. The shame is dissolving. And in its place is the quiet, solid, and deeply comforting truth of your own unbreakable resilience. You are so much stronger than you have ever given yourself credit for. Rest in that knowing now. Rest in the peace that comes from finally, truly honoring your own journey. As we hold this newfound respect for the quiet strength of your past self, let's explore a deeper, more subtle truth about what was happening during those years. From the outside, and even from your own perspective, at the time, it may have looked like a period of stagnation, a time when there was no visible growth, no blossoming, no forward movement. It can feel like a fallow season, a long and harsh winter where the landscape of your life was barren and gray. And it is natural to grieve this apparent lack of progress. But what if the most important growth is not always visible? What if the most crucial work happens in the dark, beneath the surface, hidden from view? Let's use the analogy of a tree in a long, cold winter. On the surface, the tree appears dormant, almost lifeless. Its branches are bare. There are no leaves, no flowers, no fruit. An impatient observer might look at this tree and conclude that it is wasting its time, that nothing is happening. They might even judge the tree for its lack of productivity. But if we could see beneath the ground, we would witness an entirely different story. We would see a miracle of unseen activity. Down in the dark, silent earth, the tree's roots are incredibly busy. They are pushing deeper into the soil, seeking out water and nutrients. They are expanding their network, creating a stronger, more stable foundation. They are anchoring the tree more firmly, preparing it to withstand the storms to come. This subterranean work is not glamorous. It is slow, quiet, and completely invisible. But it is the most essential work the tree will do all year. Without this deep, hidden growth of the roots, there could be no blossoming in the spring. The strength for future growth is forged in the quiet endurance of the winter. Now, consider the possibility that those years you spent on autopilot were your long, harsh winter. On the surface, it may have felt like nothing was growing. The branches of your life may have seemed bare. But beneath the surface, in the hidden depths of your being, your roots were growing deeper. Every challenge you faced, every day you endured, every moment you simply held on, each of these was an opportunity for your roots to push a little deeper into the soil of your own resilience. You were not stagnating. You were strengthening your foundation. You were developing a capacity for endurance that you may not have even known you possessed. You were building an inner structure of resilience that would become the very ground from which your future growth would spring. Let's explore this possibility more deeply. The resilience you have today, the very capacity that allows you to be here now, doing this healing work, where did it come from? It wasn't forged in the easy sunny days. Strength is not built when things are effortless. It is forged in the fire of adversity. It is carved by the winds of challenge. The quiet endurance of those autopilot years was your training ground. That period taught you things that you could not have learned in any other way. It taught you how to survive when your resources were low. It taught you the profound difference between surviving and thriving, a wisdom that can only be earned through experience. It may have taught you about the limits of your own energy, leading to a greater respect for your own needs. It may have stripped away illusions and non-essentials, forcing you to connect with what truly matters. This was not a formal education. There were no textbooks or exams. It was a deep, embodied, cellular learning. Your soul was in a masterclass on resilience, and the curriculum was your own life. Can you begin to honor the foundation of strength that was being built in the background without your conscious awareness? While your conscious mind was occupied with just getting through the day, a deeper part of you was engaged in this profound work of root building. This is why you did not break. Because while the storm raged on the surface, your roots were anchoring you more and more securely. The numbness and disconnection you felt were, in a way, the soil that allowed this root growth to happen. It protected you from the full force of the storm, creating an insulated space where this deep internal strengthening could occur undisturbed. So, what you perceived as a barren winter was, in fact, the most fertile ground for the development of your deepest strengths. This perspective completely transforms the meaning of that time. It ceases to be a lost or wasted period and becomes a foundational one. It is the invisible, sturdy sub-basement of the person you are today. You stand on the strength that was forged in that fire. You bloom from the roots that grew in that darkness. When you look back now, you can do so not just with compassion, but with a sense of reverence for the profound, hidden intelligence of your own life's journey. Your life knew what it was doing. Your soul was orchestrating a process of deep strengthening, even when your conscious mind felt lost and confused. There was a wisdom at play that was far greater than your everyday awareness. Can you trust that? Can you allow yourself to rest in the possibility that your journey has been guided, that every season has served a purpose, even the long, cold winters? This understanding brings a deep sense of peace. It releases you from the need to have a life story that is a constant, linear progression of visible successes. It allows for the reality of cycles, of seasons, of periods of inward, hidden growth. It aligns you with the natural rhythm of all living things. Every tree, every plant, every animal knows the wisdom of winter. They know that it is a time for rest, for consolidation, for gathering strength, for the blossoming to come. And now, you can know that for yourself. You can look back at your own winter and say, That was when my roots grew deep. That was when I became strong. As you drift towards sleep, let this image of the deep roots be your anchor. Feel your own connection to the earth, the solid ground of your own being. Feel the unshakable foundation of strength that lies within you, a strength that was forged in the quiet darkness of your own winter. You are not fragile. You are not broken. You are a resilient, deeply rooted being who has weathered the storms and is now ready for a new season of growth. Rest in this deep, quiet strength. Let it hold you and nourish you as you sleep, preparing you for the gentle unfurling that is to come. As this feeling of deep, quiet strength settles within you, like the sturdy, invisible roots of a great tree, we can now begin the sacred work of weaving. This is the art of integration, of taking all the threads of your life, the bright and the dark, the vibrant and the faded, and seeing them not as separate, conflicting pieces, but as essential parts of one vast, intricate, and beautiful tapestry. For so long, you have held the idea that your life story has missing or wasted chapters. You've looked back and seen a gap, a hole, a blank space where you believe a more colorful, more engaging story should have been. This belief creates a sense of fragmentation, of brokenness. It suggests that your life is a book with pages torn out, leaving the narrative incomplete and flawed. Tonight, we are going to gently let go of this painful idea. We are going to release the illusion of the missing chapters. What if those chapters were not missing at all? What if they were simply written in a different kind of ink, an ink that is only visible under the soft light of self-compassion and deeper understanding? What if the story they tell is not one of absence, but one of profound, quiet endurance? The story of your life is not flawed because of those years. The story of your life is richer, deeper, and more compellingly human because of them. A story of only sunny days and endless victories is a fairy tale. It has no depth, no resilience, no true wisdom. It is the winters, the storms, and the periods of quiet endurance that give a story its soul. Let's begin the process of integration. Imagine your life story not as a linear book, but as a great circular loom. And in your hands, you hold all the different threads of your experience. There are threads of brilliant gold, representing moments of joy and triumph. There are threads of soft blue for times of peace and contentment. There are threads of fiery red for passion and love. And then there are the threads from those autopilot years. Perhaps they appear as a simple, humble gray or a muted, earthy brown. For a long time, you have kept these gray threads separate, hidden away, ashamed of them. You believed they would ruin the beauty of the tapestry. But now, with new eyes, you pick them up. You feel their texture, and you realize they are not weak or flimsy. They are surprisingly strong. They have a weight, a density, a resilience that the more colorful threads lack. This is the thread of endurance, the thread of survival, the thread of deep foundational strength. And now you begin to weave. You take this strong gray thread and you work it into the tapestry of your life. And you see that it does not ruin the pattern. In fact, it does something miraculous. It makes the brighter colors stand out in even sharper relief. The gold shines more brilliantly against the steady gray. The red burns with more passion. The blue feels more peaceful. The gray thread provides the contrast, the depth, the background that gives the entire composition its meaning and its power. It is the foundational weave that holds all the other, more delicate threads together. Without this humble, strong thread, the entire tapestry would be weaker, less coherent, less true. Those years were not a gap in the story. They were the essential, grounding element that makes the rest of the story possible. From this place of integration, a new affirmation can be spoken from the very core of your being. Every part of my story has brought me here, to this moment of healing. Say it silently to yourself and feel its profound truth. The joy and the sorrow, the presence and the autopilot, the clarity and the fog. None of it was a mistake. None of it was wasted. Each experience, each season, was a necessary step on the path that has led you to this exact moment, in this bed, doing this deep and beautiful work of coming home to yourself. If you were to remove even one of those gray years, you would not be the person you are today. You would not have the depth of resilience you now possess. You would not have the capacity for compassion, for yourself and for others, that has been forged in the fires of your own experience. You would not be here, in this moment, ready and able to heal. This is the ultimate release from the tyranny of should have been. The life that should have been is a ghost that haunts us. The life that was, in all its messy, imperfect, and courageous reality, is our sacred ground, our source of wisdom, our true inheritance. By integrating this period, you are not just forgiving it, you are claiming it. You are owning it as a vital part of your strength, your character, your soul's journey. You are saying, yes, this too is me. This endurance is me. This quiet strength is me. This capacity to survive is me. And I am whole, not in spite of it, but because of it. Can you feel the power in that? The fragmentation begins to heal. The sense of being broken begins to dissolve. You are not a collection of good parts and bad parts. You are one, whole, integrated human being, and every single part of your story has value. Think of the Japanese art of kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with lacquer mixed with powdered gold. The philosophy is that the piece is more beautiful and more valuable for having been broken. The cracks are not hidden. They are illuminated. They become a central part of the object's history and its beauty. Your autopilot years are like the cracks in a beautiful ceramic bowl. For so long, you have been trying to hide them, ashamed of the breakage. But now, you are learning to fill those cracks with the liquid gold of self-compassion, understanding, and gratitude. You are making your life story even more beautiful, not by pretending the breaks never happened, but by honoring them as the very places where the light of your own wisdom and resilience can shine through most brightly. As you prepare to let go into sleep, let this feeling of wholeness be your final destination for today. You are the weaver at the loom. You are the artist practicing kintsugi. You are the storyteller who is finally learning to love the whole story. There are no missing pages. There are no wasted chapters. There is only this one precious, unfolding journey that is yours. And every single step of it, even the steps taken in the fog, has been a sacred part of the path that has brought you home. Rest in this wholeness. Rest in this peace. Rest in the beautiful, resilient, and perfectly imperfect story that is you. Having woven all the threads of your story into a single, beautiful tapestry, having filled the cracks of your past with the gold of self-compassion, a new feeling can begin to emerge. It is a quiet sense of readiness, a gentle turning from the past towards the present and the future. But this turning is different now. It is not born from a frantic need to escape the past or a desperate desire to make up for lost time. That is the old energy of self-blame and criticism. This new turning is soft, organic, and filled with grace. It arises naturally from this new ground of self-acceptance. And from this place, we can set a soft intention to move forward with more presence. This is not another task to add to your to-do list. It is not another standard to which you must hold yourself, another way to potentially fail. Let's be very clear about that. The intention for more presence is not a promise to be perfectly mindful every second of every day. That would simply be replacing one form of self-pressure with another. Instead, this is a promise of gentle return. It is the softest, kindest intention to simply notice when you are here in the present moment and to savor it just a little. And to notice when your mind has drifted, as all minds do, and to gently, lovingly guide it back without any judgment at all. The goal is not perfection. The goal is a kinder relationship with your own wandering mind. The understanding that makes this possible is that being present is a gentle return, not another task to perfect. Imagine you are teaching a small, beloved puppy to sit. You gently guide it into position. A moment later, its attention wanders, and it gets up to chase a butterfly. You would not scold the puppy. You would not shame it for its nature. You would smile, call its name softly, and gently guide it back to a sitting position. This is how we must learn to treat our own minds. When you are brushing your teeth and you realize your mind is lost in worry about tomorrow, you just gently notice, there's worry. And then you bring your attention back to the taste of the toothpaste, the feeling of the bristles. When you are drinking a cup of tea and you realize you haven't tasted a single sip because you were replaying a conversation from yesterday, you just gently notice, I was gone. And then you guide your awareness back to the warmth of the mug in your hands. Each return is a small victory of kindness. Each moment of noticing is a moment of presence. With this gentle approach, we can fully and finally release the pressure to make up for lost time. This idea is a trap. It is a form of self-punishment that keeps you locked in a battle with the past. It implies that you are in a deficit, that you are behind in some imaginary race. But there is no race. There is only this moment. The past is not a debt to be repaid. It is a foundation of resilience upon which you now stand. The energy that was once consumed by regret can now be liberated and reinvested into appreciating the here and now. You don't need to make up for the sunsets you didn't see. You only need to be open to truly seeing the one that is offered to you tomorrow. You don't need to grieve the conversations where you weren't fully present. You only need to bring a little more of your heart to the one you have today. Life is not a bank account where time can be lost or gained. It is a river, and you are simply in it, flowing. By releasing the struggle with the past, you stop trying to swim upstream. You can finally turn around, face the direction of the current, and allow the river of this present moment to carry you. There is an immense sense of relief in this. It is the end of the struggle. It is the beginning of a deep and abiding trust in the flow of your own life. You are exactly where you are supposed to be. And this moment, right now, is the only one that holds the gift of your full aliveness. And you can access that gift not by trying harder, but by softening, by letting go, by gently returning again and again to the simple, miraculous reality of being here. This new presence is born from a place of deep self-acceptance. It is a presence that is spacious and forgiving. It knows that some days you will feel more connected than others. It knows that the fog may sometimes roll back in when you are tired or stressed, and it doesn't panic. It simply recognizes it, honors your need for rest, and trusts that the clarity will return when it is time. This is a mature presence, a wise presence. It is not the fragile, forced presence of someone trying to be spiritual. It is the grounded, embodied presence of someone who has made peace with their own humanity. It is a presence that includes all of it: the moments of focus and the moments of distraction, the joy and the sorrow, the energy and the fatigue. It is a presence that says yes to the whole of your experience. So, the promise you are making to yourself is not one of performance, but one of kindness. You are promising to be a gentler friend to your own mind. You are promising to release the pressure and to embrace the practice of a soft return. This is the true fruit of all the healing work you have done. It is not a dramatic, instantaneous transformation into a state of permanent bliss. It is the quiet, humble, and profoundly liberating decision to stop fighting with yourself and to start moving through your life with a little more grace, a little more ease, and a deep, abiding trust in the wisdom of this very moment. As sleep begins to draw you closer, let this soft intention be the gentle current that carries you. Let go of all the striving. Let go of the need to be anywhere other than where you are. You are here. You are whole. You are learning to be present in a way that is sustainable and kind. And that is more than enough. It is a beautiful, unfolding miracle. Allow the river of sleep to take you now, trusting that you will awaken with this gentle promise held softly in your heart, ready to meet the new day with a little more presence, a little more peace, and a whole lot more kindness for yourself. And now, the time for thinking is drawing to a close. The time for weaving stories and reframing the past is done for today. You have done beautiful, courageous work, and now it is time to let it all go. It is time to let the mind rest and to allow the body to take center stage, to guide you fully into the deep, healing realm of sleep. Let us now shift our attention entirely from the landscape of thought to the simple, profound, physical sensation of the breath. Your breath is the ultimate anchor to the present moment. It requires no thought, no analysis, no effort. It is simply happening, a steady, faithful rhythm that has been with you since the moment of your birth and will be with you until your very last. Bring your full, gentle awareness to the feeling of the air entering your nostrils. Notice the slight coolness of the in-breath. Follow its path as it travels down into your lungs, filling you with life, with oxygen, with peace. And then feel the soft release of the out-breath. Notice the slight warmth of the air as it leaves your body. Feel the gentle deflation of your chest and abdomen. This is the rhythm of life itself, the rhythm of receiving and letting go, in and out. There is nothing else you need to do, nothing to figure out, just this, just breathing. When the mind wanders, as it will, just gently, without any frustration, guide it back to this simple physical sensation, the coolness of the in-breath, the warmth of the out-breath. This is your sanctuary. This is your home. With each slow, deep exhale, feel your body growing heavier. This is not a frightening heaviness, but a deeply comforting and grounding one. It is the feeling of complete and utter surrender to the pull of gravity, to the support of the bed beneath you. With your next exhale, feel your legs becoming heavy, loose, and completely relaxed. Let go of any tension in your feet, your ankles, your calves, and your thighs. They have carried you all day, and now they can be completely at rest. With the next exhale, allow this heavy, warm feeling of relaxation to spread up into your hips and your pelvis. Release the deep muscles of your lower back. Let this entire area of your body soften and melt into the mattress. Now, with another long, slow breath out, feel this wave of deep relaxation moving up through your torso. Feel your stomach soften. Feel your chest open and release. Allow your shoulders, which have carried so much of your burden, to finally let go completely. Feel them growing heavy, dropping away from your ears, melting down into the bed. Let this soothing warmth flow down your arms, through your elbows, into your wrists, and all the way to the very tips of your fingers. Your arms and hands are now completely limp, heavy, and at peace. With your next exhale, let go of any tension in your neck and your throat. Allow your jaw to be slack, your tongue to be soft in your mouth. Let the tiny muscles around your eyes and across your forehead smooth out and release. Your entire body is now held in a state of profound, heavy, warm relaxation. You are sinking, gently and safely, into a deep state of peace. As your body finds this deep rest, your mind is gently invited to quiet down, knowing its work is done for the day. All the insights, all the healing, all the new perspectives we have explored tonight have been received. You don't need to hold on to them or review them. They have been planted like seeds in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And now, in the quiet darkness of sleep, they will be watered. They will be tended to. Your deeper wisdom will integrate this healing work on a level far beyond the reach of your conscious thoughts. You can trust this process completely. The mind can now step back and allow the profound intelligence of your body and your deeper self to take over. Imagine your thoughts are like leaves floating on the surface of a calm, clear lake. For a while, you have been watching them, engaging with them. But now, you are allowing yourself to gently sink beneath the surface of the water, down into the deep, silent stillness below. Down here, the surface activity of the leaves is distant and unimportant. There is only a vast, silent, peaceful quiet. This is the quiet of your own deep being. This is the place from which all healing arises. Allow yourself to rest in this deep, inner silence. It is always here, beneath the surface of your thoughts, waiting for you. And tonight, you are coming home to it. The sounds you may hear from inside or outside your room can now become part of your relaxation. Instead of resisting them, just let them be. Let them wash over you without attachment. They are simply waves of sound in the vast ocean of silence that surrounds you and fills you. They cannot disturb the deep stillness at your core. They can, in fact, lull you even deeper into rest, like the distant sound of ocean waves heard from a safe and cozy cottage. There is nothing that can disturb your peace now. You are completely safe, completely held, and completely ready for sleep. Your only task now is to allow the heaviness in your limbs, to allow the stillness in your mind, to allow the gentle, rhythmic rising and falling of your breath, to allow the natural, effortless process of sleep to come and claim you. You don't have to go and find sleep. You simply have to create the perfect conditions for it to find you. And that is what you have done. You have released the burdens of the day. You have made peace with your past. You have settled your body into a state of profound rest. And now, you can simply wait in this peaceful, open state of allowance for the gentle gift of sleep to arrive. It is coming. It is near. Just let go. Just allow. Just be. As you rest here, on the very edge of sleep, the process of letting go deepens. The conscious mind, with its chatter and its plans, continues to recede, like the tide slowly pulling away from the shore, leaving behind only the smooth, quiet sand. Your awareness is shifting now, from doing to being, from thinking to simply feeling. Feel the profound support of the surface beneath you. It is holding your entire weight, unconditionally. You do not have to hold yourself up. You do not have to exert any effort at all. You can surrender your weight completely to the bed, to the earth, trusting that you are, and always will be, completely held. This is a feeling of deep safety, of fundamental security. In this moment, in this place, you are perfectly, completely supported. Allow this sensation of being held to permeate every cell of your body. It is a silent message to your nervous system that it is safe to let go completely, safe to release all vigilance, safe to enter the deepest states of rest and renewal. The language of our journey now becomes more sparse. The pauses between the words grow a little longer. This is intentional. We are creating more space now, more silence, more room for you to drift, to float, to follow the gentle downward spiral into sleep. The words are no longer here to guide your thoughts, but simply to be a soft, steady presence, a gentle murmur in the background, like a quiet flowing stream that soothes you without demanding your attention. There is nothing you need to understand, nothing to remember. Just allow the sound of the voice to be another layer of comfort, another blanket of sound wrapping you in peace as you continue to let go. Let's bring to mind a simple, gentle image. Imagine a tightly coiled fern frond, a fiddlehead tucked deep in the cool, damp earth of the forest floor. It is coiled in on itself, a perfect spiral of potential, holding all of its future life in a compact, protected form. This fern represents any tension that might still be held within you, any part of you that is still coiled tightly, holding on. For a long, long time, this coiled posture was necessary. It was a form of protection, a way to keep the tender, new growth safe during the long winter. It was a posture of survival. And now, as you lie here, feeling the warmth and safety of this moment, a gentle, slow unfurling can begin. Feel this process happening within you, not as a mental idea, but as a physical sensation. With each soft exhale, imagine that fern frond beginning to slowly, almost imperceptibly, unwind. There is no force, no effort. It is not trying to open. It is simply responding to the warmth, to the safety, to the irresistible invitation of a new season. The tightly held muscles in your back can begin to release their grip. The tension coiled in your shoulders can begin to soften and spread out. The guarded posture of your heart can begin to open just a little. This is a process of yielding, of surrendering to your own natural unfolding. You are not forcing yourself to relax. You are simply allowing the relaxation that is already present within you to emerge. This unfurling is the release of all the old patterns of holding. The holding of breath, the holding of emotion, the holding of tension, the holding of blame. For years, you have been holding on so tightly just to get through. And now, you can finally, gently, begin to let go. Feel the profound relief in this release. It is a deep, cellular exhale, a sigh that comes from the very soul of you. The long watch is over. The need to be on guard has passed. You can allow yourself to become soft, open, and receptive. Receptive to rest, receptive to peace, receptive to the deep restorative healing that happens in sleep. The spiral of the fern continues its slow, graceful dance of release, unwinding, unfolding, lengthening. Each tiny leaflet separating from its neighbor, finding its own space, reaching gently towards the light it knows is coming. In the same way, every part of you is finding its own space to rest, to release. Your entire being is coming into a state of harmony and ease. The inner knots are untangling themselves. The inner armor is being gently set aside. You are returning to your natural state, which is one of open, relaxed, peaceful presence. Just a little more now, a little further. Let the last remnants of conscious control dissolve. Let your breath breathe itself. Let your body rest itself. Let the mind become a wide, empty, peaceful space. You are floating now, drifting on a calm, quiet sea, held by the water, warmed by the gentle light of the moon. There is nowhere else to be, nothing else to do, no one you need to be. Just this simple, profound, peaceful existence, right here, right now. You are a wave returning to the ocean, a leaf returning to the earth, a traveler returning home. Rest now, just rest. As the final veils of wakefulness dissolve, as you drift in the serene space between worlds, a few last gentle thoughts can accompany you, not as tasks, but as soft echoes in the quiet landscape of your mind. We have traveled far tonight, from the ache of the lost years to the quiet strength of the deep roots. We have journeyed from blame to gratitude, from fragmentation to wholeness. And what have we discovered? Perhaps we've learned that the harshest judge we will ever face is the one that lives within our own mind, and that the most profound liberation comes from offering that judge a new role, the role of a compassionate friend. We have seen that what we once called weakness was, in fact, an incredible adaptive strength. What we saw as a barren winter was a secret, fertile season of foundational growth. Your story is not what you thought it was. It is not a tale of failure or of time wasted. It is a story of survival, of resilience, of the profound and mysterious wisdom of the human spirit to protect itself, to endure, and to find its way back to the light. You are not broken, and you never were. You were simply a traveler on a difficult part of the path, doing the very best you could. And now, you can look back at that traveler, not with pity or shame, but with a deep and abiding respect. They are the hero of your story. Their quiet, uncelebrated endurance is the bedrock upon which your present healing is built. Every part of your journey has been sacred. Every step, even those taken in the fog, has led you here. You are whole. You are worthy of rest. Your journey is unfolding, and always has been, perfectly. Perhaps healing is not about becoming a new person, but about finally, truly, becoming the person you have always been, beneath all the layers of protection and survival. It is an act of remembering your own wholeness, remembering your own innate strength, remembering your own infinite worth. Sleep is a nightly pilgrimage back to this source. It is a place where the ego rests, the stories fall away, and you are reconnected with the deep, silent, knowing part of yourself. As you enter this sacred space tonight, you carry with you all the healing and insight of our journey. It will be integrated into your being, not by effort, but by grace, in the quiet alchemy of the night. What if the purpose of those autopilot years was not just to survive, but to prepare you for a deeper, more compassionate way of living. What if the experience of absence was the very thing that taught you the preciousness of presence? Often, it is only by experiencing the opposite that we come to truly value something. Perhaps your soul chose this curriculum to teach you, on a level deeper than words, the profound gift of a single, conscious breath. The beauty of a moment truly seen and felt. From this perspective, those years were not a loss, but a profound and necessary part of your education in the art of being human. They were a gift, wrapped in the strange gray paper of difficulty. There is nothing more to do now, no more to understand. The work is complete. The ship is in the harbor. The traveler is home. Allow the final threads of thought to unravel completely. Allow yourself to merge with the darkness, with the silence, with the peace that is your true nature. The promise of this deep, restorative sleep is that you will awaken renewed, perhaps not dramatically changed, but subtly shifted, a little lighter, a little kinder to yourself, a little more at peace with the beautiful, complex, and courageous story that is yours. You are being held in the gentle arms of the great mystery. You are safe. You are loved. You are at peace. Nothing more to do. Nowhere else to be. Just allow. Just rest.